What's going on, my dudes? Chen's Leo11 here, and welcome back to another episode in the A to Z series, where we go through every single champion in League of Legends and give you a basic and beginner's guide on them. So in today's episode, we're going to be showing you how to play Katarina Mid for beginners. So obviously, we're going to be going through Katarina's build, her runes, and obviously her abilities. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button because, as I said, we're going through all of them. And we're making a good way through them at this point. I think we're about, 56, 57 through, so not too bad. Having a lot of fun doing it. It seems that a lot of people are enjoying it as well. So thank you for all the support. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you enjoy. So Katarina, a very, very fun mid laner to play, particularly because she's mechanically difficult, I'd say. Not as hard as she used to be, I reckon. She's a bit noob friendly now, but she's still hard, guys, relative to other mid laners. If you've never played League before, or if you're just starting out, or you've never played a mechanically difficult champion, Katarina is not simple. Fortunately, we got a bit of a weird matchup. Full AP Rakan. I have heard about it. Just mucking around in the early game here. I have heard about it, but it's a bit weird for me because I've never faced it, especially on Katarina. So a bit of feeling through the game, but this game is pretty fun. We do get a little bit hype in this game as well. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay. As always, the gameplay is pre-recorded. It's not here as the main purpose of the video. It's just something, in the background while we explain everything, and I can point out things that I'm doing in the game as well. So obviously early game, just try and trade. Remember, you are melee, so you can get poked out by mages. Fortunately, Rakan doesn't have too much range, so we're okay. But just be aware that you can get bullied early. And Katarina loves... Her identity is to get, ahead by shoving and roaming or cleaning up your laner, right? So if you get a chance to roam, go roam, because Katarina has fantastic roams. Absolutely brilliant. She's quite quick. She's very zippy. And she has a lot of cool abilities that allow her to dart around team fights and clean up fights. And when I say clean up fights, I mean... Every time I play Katarina, minimum triple kills. Minimum. Usually quadras, minimum triples. So her ultimate is pretty nutty. So something I'm doing lately in these episodes, we're just quickly going through the abilities real fast. So if you have no idea what's going on in the lane, you can quickly have a look. And then we're obviously going to go through the abilities in way more detail as we go along. The Q throws out a dagger, bounces, goes on the ground. The W throws a dagger in the air, and then it goes back onto the ground after a short period of time. The E is the blink, does damage on arrival. And the ultimate is like a whirling blade where you're throwing out knives, dealing damage to the closest 3 targets. So, as I say always, or, in the last couple episodes now, obviously there's way more detail in the abilities, but just a quick rundown so you can follow along as we go. Quick mention, you can blink to one of your daggers on the floor, okay? So that's all you need to know to watch the landing phase and understand what's going on. So we're going to start off with the runes. So I have him up on the screen. As we go into a bit of a trade here, do I finish the Rakan? Yeah, I just E onto him, clean him up. We use the Ignite. We just survived by the skin of our teeth. So a little bit sketchy, not going to lie. Could have gone either way. And especially when I'm this low with no vision of the jungler, this is a bit sketch. But anyway, runes. So on Katarina, pretty standard. Katarina runes are Electrocute, Sudden Impact for obvious reasons, Eyeball Collection, a Relentless Hunter, and then we're going to go Precision Secondary with Triumph and Coup de Grace. Double offensive runes, so the Adaptive Force, and then MR or AD, depending on the matchup, right? So in this matchup, MR would be the best, because it's probably going to build full AP Rakan, I imagine. Otherwise, why would you play it mid? So that's the runes, guys. Pretty straightforward. Don't really take anything else. They are pretty much the best runes. There's probably a little bit of nuance around. But to get started, I highly recommend these runes. They're very, very good. Now, with summoner spells, I'm going to spend a little bit of time explaining this. So Katarina is a very, very unique champion in that she has a lot of dashes and blinks. So you can take Teleport instead of Flash, and then you take Ignite because it's fantastic lane pressure. If you watched the last episode where we went through how important Teleport is, you would know that Teleport in some cases can be even stronger than Ignite. And you can see in this game here, I got the kill with the Ignite, and it literally got me the kill. And then I was still able to teleport back to lane without any punishment. The downside is obviously we don't have Flash. But when you're playing Katarina, she has a lot of mobility in her kit anyway, so it's not the end of the world. So her E is off a pretty low cooldown, so you can dart around. So the flash isn't super critical on Katarina. Now, we are going to quickly go through the level up order, the skill order. So start Q first, then go E second, W third, max your Q after that, then max your E second, and then max your W last. And obviously take a point into your ultimate whenever you can. And other than that, let's go through the build quickly, and then we'll start on the abilities. So the build that I'll put on the screen today is, again, pretty standard. It's Proto Bell. We're going to start Dark Seal and Refillable. As I mentioned in the last episode, Dark Seal is fantastic for snowballing. Considering we've already got a kill, it's working out pretty well so far. What was I say? Refillable Pot, fantastic. I really like Refillable Pot in general. Even if I don't start it, sometimes I'll go back and buy one. I really like them. They sell for a lot, so if you buy it, you can actually get most of your gold back, and they provide so much sustain in the lane and allows you to get a lot more CS, because if you're in the lane more often, you get more CS. So the gold you make, you lose, by having or spending it on the potion, you'll probably make back by getting a few extra CS anyway. All right, so then we're going to go Sork Pen Boots, fantastic, so we can one-shot squishies. Proto Belt, Nash's Tooth, Zonya's, and then Death Cap, and then Void Staff somewhere in there, depending on the enemy team. If they got a lot of MR, get the Void Staff. If they don't, get the Death Cap. Right, pretty straightforward. All right. So nothing special happening in the lane. We've got the only kill, which is kind of weird. Usually it's a bit bloodthirsty in my games, but unfortunately we've got we're the one with the kill, so we're doing okay. CS is actually not too bad. 40 at 7 minutes. Could be better, could be worse. Teleport helps out with CSing a lot because you don't lose the pressure in the lane. But we're going to go through Katarina's abilities. All right, so we're going to start with Katarina's passive. It's called Veracity. So takedowns on enemy champions. So that's a kill or assist within 3 seconds of you damaging them. Okay, so within 3 seconds if you damage an enemy champion, you get 15 seconds off all your cooldowns. Okay, now this is what makes Katarina. Remember I said earlier about the triple kill, quadra kill? It's because of this, right? If you get a kill, it snowballs into the next kill, because all your cooldowns come off, and it's amazing. You just dart around, throwing your ultimates down, preparation, spinning around with your passive, the second half of your passive, which I'll mention in a moment. It's fantastic, all right? So that's a very, very important thing you need to be aware of. Unfortunately, we're getting dived. I wasted my ultimate there, so I'll point out my mistakes. I was dead there regardless, so I definitely shouldn't have used my ultimate. So getting caught out without vision, and when I backed earlier, I should have bought a control ward and put it in one of the 2 pixel brushes. So that's my bad. So a little bit of a mistake there. So I will say this. I'm terrible at Katarina. I just get pretty fed in this game. And I managed to make myself look better than I am. So don't get too excited. I'm terrible. I just love playing her. She's a lot of fun. So the second half of her passive is called Sinister Steel. So whenever Katarina retrieves one of her daggers on the floor, she does like this spin. And you would have seen it happen often. It spins around, does damage all around. I'm licking my lips here. But unfortunately, low health targets are Katarina's best friends. But I wasted my ultimate earlier, so it's no good. So I'm going in a little bit deep here. We got the Xayah following up, so maybe we can go. Fiddlestips coming in. See, not the cleanest, eh? Pretty crap. All right, here we go. We're gonna finish off the Kane here. We got the Q coming up. Always used his ultimate. Do we get him? I think we should be able to get him with our Q. Yeah, no worries. So see how the blade bounced off the Kane and went onto the floor, and then I walked over the blade, and then it did a spin of damage. That spin of damage is a lot of your damage output. So that passive is super important. So remember, whenever there's a blade on the ground, so see that blade, the red circle? If I run over to it, watch what will happen. See how they all spun? So I used my E to blink. Remember I mentioned earlier the E was a blink, so you can blink to your daggers. You blink to the dagger, and then you do that AoE spin. I will mention it now as well, that when you pick up a dagger, it reduces your E's cooldown, okay? So you can see, if you E to a dagger, you pretty much can E again. It's kind of like Aurelia's Q. If you kill an enemy minion, if you kill something with the Q, you can recast. It's kind of like that, right? So if I E to that dagger right now, I can pretty much E straight back out. All right, so that's the passive. Let's go through the Q, guys. Pretty straightforward ability. Basically, Katarina throws a dagger. It bounces off 2 nearby enemies, dealing magic damage. and then the dagger lands behind the last enemy hit. Okay, that's all it does. It just does magic damage. Now, the trick with the Q is knowing how to use it correctly. You want to use it in such a way. Look at that damage. Yeah, he's dead. So that was my ultimate there. So you want to use it in such a way where you can make it bounce to where you want it to go. And this takes a lot of practice, and you're not going to be able to get it in your first go. And even I can't do it often, because it bounces to other targets. So you have to just try. If it's a 1v1, it's very easy. You just throw the Q, it lands behind them, and you E to it. Then you E to that, does the spin of damage. Fantastic. If you're trying to escape and there's someone close to the wall, if you Q them, the blade goes over the wall, and then you can E over the wall. So you can actually E over walls. Shampoo, it's called, the E. So it's a basic ability, but there's a lot of nuance to it. So that's all I'll say about the Q. A little bit of a greedy teleport here because we're collapsing on the bot lane, but my team is a little far. You can see the Q there. I jumped to the Q, but unfortunately I was a little bit far away. Do we get the Sona with the Q? We do. So we have a lot of damage at this point. 7 stacks plus the Sork Pen boots is absolutely disgusting, guys. Well, Kane is doing some work though. Destroyed the Morgana. Let's see if we can fix him up. Nice fear. So here, if I had the Q, I'd Q over the top and then I could E to the back, right? So I Q to the Vayne, E on top. She's dead. Use the ultimate. A double kill. I promise to you guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just got lucky there. So, fantastic roam. Another reason why teleport's fantastic. It allowed me to just get 2 free kills. We're snowballing this game hard now, which is what Katarina loves to do. Snowball, make your presence known, move around the map, get a lot of kills. Okay? Very, very simple. CS is obviously very, very important for consistency, because if roams fail and the enemy mid laner stays in lane and soaks up all the XP and minions, you'll find yourself behind. Fortunately, they're working out pretty well, so we're doing okay. All right, guys, let's go through. I didn't mention what the Q is called. It's called Bouncing Blade. I don't think I mentioned it. So let's go through the W, which is our last max, remember. So the W is, I just used it there. Basically, all it is you throw a dagger in the air. It's called preparation. It's almost like you're preparing what you want to do, right? Beautiful. E to the dagger. Unfortunately, it sucks. See what I mean? Terrible. Fortunately, he got me with his ultimate, so he pulled me out of my ultimate. So something you need to be aware of when you, just quickly aside, when you're playing Katarina, people can disrupt your ultimate and it's lights out for you. So you kind of got to wait for the CC to go off and then go in. But you can see there, nearly got the kill. But being this far ahead, I shouldn't have died to the Rakan there. Bit of a mistake. Even if I survived, the Kane was nearby, probably would have murdered me anyway. So back to W. You throw the blade in the air. It lands after a few seconds. You become ghosted and you get bonus movement speed. Again, ghosted, I've mentioned in the last episode and a few episodes previously. It just means you ignore unit collisions, so you can walk through minions and champions freely. It's very, very nice. Morgana gets the nice stun with her ultimate. Fiddlesticks over the wall. Can we get a clean up here? Nice blue smite. Slow her down. And then we've got him. So yeah, that's the E. So what would you use the E for? So you can do a couple things with the E. The W, right? You can throw it up in the air before you go in, so then you have a way out. So you throw it up, throw the Q, the blade goes behind them, E to the blade, use your ultimate, whatever, if it's getting into a bit of a pinch. At that point, you can E back to your blade that you prepared earlier. Remember, because if you shampoo or you E to a blade, the cooldown gets reduced significantly. So you can see there, back off cooldown after I just dashed. If you just E randomly to a target, like if I just E to the dragon, it would be off cooldown. It'd be on a longer cooldown. You can see what I'm doing. I'm always throwing the Q down, always Eing to the blades. Then the blades spin to do the extra damage. So it's all synergy with the kit. It's fantastic. So we're going to go in with our E, get another assist there. E back to the blade. Rakan's used his ultimate. I can't remember what it's called. A little bit. So I've used my ultimate early there, and we managed to get the kill. I haven't used my bloody proto belt. I built it, and I reckon I've forgotten I've finished it because I'm that fed this game. So proto belt is also fantastic for closing the gap. Proto belt E to get into the team fight. Then use your ultimate. If everyone's used their CC and whatnot, you can absolutely decimate team fights. So yeah, guys, that's what the W is for. It's for setting up. Remember, in like a fight, just throw your W up in the air if you're not sure what to do with it. It'll land the blade on the ground. If you're near the blade, it'll spin, do the extra damage. If you're 1v1ing, for example. But yeah, Katarina is going to require a lot of practice. But when you get good at her, very, very rewarding. Very fun champion to play. So yeah, at this point, we're really, really fed. So anything I do is going to look good. So keep that in mind. We're doing nice damage to this tower. We're going to take out the mid lane. We got a couple of the dragons, so this game is going very, very well. There's the first turret for us. Another point in our ultimate. Level 11, massive power spike on Katarina as well. Alright, so we've been through the W. Let's quickly go through the E. E is a very simple ability, okay? It's the dodge, it's the blink, sorry, that I've been using. I know we've been going through the abilities kind of here and there, like out of order kind of thing, but it's Katarina's kit is very synergistic. Oh, look at this. I'm just going to E and ult here. Beautiful. Good night. See what I mean? Like, that's amazing. Just E on top and ultimate. Fantastic. I'm finished here. Eat out to my minion, which is what we're going to go through in a moment. Beautiful. Back onto the cane. Fiddlesticks dodging, juggling the tower aggro with us. That's very good. I think at this point we're going to clean up the tower and then we can just auto-attack him to death. Fantastic. Another kill. We're on a rampage. 10, 2, and 2. I promise you I'm not that good at this champion. I'm just really fed. Alright, as I was saying, you blink to a target location. So a unit or a dagger dealing magic damage. The nearest enemy in range, or the nearest enemy in range, and then you do on-hit effects, okay? So you can E auto attack as well, so it cancels your auto attack animation. I don't usually use it for that. I normally use it to E to daggers and whatnot to move around the fights. You can't cast it like instantly twice, even if the cooldown gets refunded to 0. There's like a 0.15 second lock, a global cooldown of the E. So keep that in mind as well. But that's something you get used to. You feel it. So as you can see there, see how the blade went over the wall? I could E to that wall, and we just E on top of him in ultimate. Because we got the kill, we got a massive refund of CDR. You can see our ultimate's on a 25-second cooldown. So you can see how much damage we do. Oh my god, look at this. Oh yes, very, very nice. 13-2, beautiful. So that's what the E does, okay? So the blades, the Q and the W put the blades on the floor. The E jumps to those blades. Well, I personally would always jump to a blade. Unless I'm trying to get out, you can jump to minions, okay? As well, to get out of a pinch. But remember, that'll put it on a longer cooldown because you didn't jump to a blade. Okay, so that's the shampoo. Now we're going to go through the ultimate. Death Lotus. You've seen me use it a few times. It is absolutely nutty. Katarina channels for 2.5 seconds, rapidly spinning, and she throws out blades. Now, these blades hit the closest 3 enemy champions. It reveals her in the process. The blades deal physical and magical damage. Does on-hit effects. It also applies grievous wounds. Okay, so if you guys didn't know that, it's very, very important. Grievous wounds basically reduces healing. Okay, so a very, very important ability in the meta. There's a lot of healing in the meta, so that is actually fantastic. I'm just tunneling the... I just tunneled the vein there, a bit of a mistake. But you can see here what happens when you get CC'd on Katarina. You just kind of get shreked. A little bit too greedy for myself. I should have just E'd into the big group or even thrown a Q out, and I would have killed at least one of them because remember that blade bounces. So, Katarina has a few combos and whatnot. So the thing you want to do is you want to throw your Q, puts a blade behind them. You can E to that blade, then throw your W up. If you want to go all in, you don't need an escape. Then throw your W, so it throws another blade in the air. That'll force 2 proxy a passive. The Q, when you enter the first blade, it'll spin. Then the W goes on the ground, you'll spin again, and you can use your ultimate. Remember, Katarina has a lot of buttons to press. It sounds weird. What I mean by that is you're building Proto Belt, you're going to have Ignite. All your abilities are off cooldown very quickly. So you've got to be aware. That's what I mean. She's not easy to play. So we're going to Q there, we're going to E to that, and then when you can use your ultimate at that point, would have killed everything, but I thought I'd save it. Get another double kill for ourselves. Fantastic. Just running around demolishing everyone. Not fantastic macro. Like I'm just kind of running around like an idiot and getting kills, but I'm having a lot of fun. And that's what we're here to do, guys. Have a bit of fun. So that's that. We've been through all the abilities. Those are the combos. Now, the thing... the resets are super important, guys. When you get a kill or a takedown, that reset is fantastic. If you get a few kills with your ultimate, you'll just have no cooldown your ultimate, pretty much. It'll just come off cooldown straight away because you're getting all the refunded 15-second cooldown. You can see me pinging my Magi's, acting like I'm a god, but really I just got pretty lucky in the early game. Got a few free kills. snowballed out of control. So that's basically everything there is to say about Katarina's abilities. As a beginner, would I recommend her? Probably not. There are much easier champions that achieve the same kind of thing. But Katarina has a very, very cool aesthetic. She's very, very fun to play. And you look cool doing it, all right? Because you just diving everywhere, getting triple kills, quadra kills, especially when you get fed. If you like that assassin roam, push and roam playstyle, give her a go. Definitely play a few games of her normals or whatever. Or if you're very new to the game in bots, just to get yourself familiar with her abilities. But the synergy here, because Fiddlesticks can ult in, and then I can use my ultimate, and we can chunk everyone out. Some tips and tricks for Katarina that I will recommend is, obviously, I've mentioned this, and we can see here, there's the quadra kill. I promised there was going to be one. Some things I will recommend when you're playing Katarina. If the enemy team has a lot of point and click hard CC, you need to wait for that to go on cooldown. Because if you just use your E in and there's a Mauser, he'll just ult you and you're dead. You literally can't do anything. So you got to bait out the hard CC, otherwise you will die straight away. Kind of like Master Yi, right? But that's basically all I wanted to say, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We didn't even get to use our Zhonya's. The enemy team surrendered, and fair play to them. We were absolutely snowballing the shit out of this game. So I hope you enjoyed. The next video, we'll be doing Kayle. So Kayle is a hyper-scaling top laner. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that video. But I hope you enjoyed. Again, I'm not the best at Katarina. If I have missed something, leave it in the comment section below for the newer players. We're here to learn and have fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, at the end of the day, it's nighttime. Take it easy.